Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton News Daily. Everton again today linked with a move for Real Madrid player James Rodriguez. Mundo Deportivo say that Everton have offered Rodriguez 4-year contract to come to Goodison Park. He's valued at around 35 million euros. I don't see Everton paying anything like this for a player who's 29. Very, very good play, great left foot, obviously. Very skillful, but this one for me is just a no-go. Not at them figures anyway. Whether Real Madrid will be prepared to let him come to Everton on loan might be a different thing. But for me personally, I just don't see anything in this one, just more paper talk. And another player that has been linked with a big money move to Everton today is Donny van der Beek at Ajax. Newcastle and Real Madrid also interested in him, apparently. The 23-year-old valued at around 35 million euros also. That seems to be the figure, the buzz figure at the moment. Again, just to reiterate, I just don't see Everton paying this kind of money. The world has changed. A lot of clubs won't be paying this kind of transfer fee for anybody. We don't know whether the games are going to complete it. Everton are no different than a lot of other clubs. They need the 9 games to be completed for television revenue. Otherwise, it will hinder them in the summer. There's no question, or whenever the transfer window is. So players like Donny van der Beek, I don't think are on Carlo Ancelotti's radar at all. One player who might be is Mangala, the centre-back from Nice. He's a 21-year-old defender. He's available on a free transfer. He's tipped to join a club in Germany, but Everton are apparently in the race for him. He's a 6-footer, good age, and at a free transfer, that's more likely to interest Carlo Ancelotti. Obviously, Everton heavily linked to Gabriel, Lille centre-back, with some news outlets saying that personal terms are already agreed. They may well be, but what has changed is that the initial deal Everton had in place with Lille won't be there no more. 30 million again. If Lille want a deal at about 15 million, then maybe that Gabriel move will still happen to Everton, but not at the 30 million price tag we've seen. UEFA have set proposals in place to make it even more difficult to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. It would certainly affect a club like Everton. There's no question about that. They want to do it over a 4-year period. They want to get rid of the top 4. And entry into it is based on a 4-year period, whereas basically you've got to get in the Champions League places, so to speak, the top 4 for 3 seasons, and then have the hope of being allowed to compete in it in the 4th. Other than that, you have to win the league. This is something that just tries to make that more of an elite, make it a closed shop, reward those teams that are up there. It's absolute nonsense. It's UEFA, probably another way to keep a Super League at bay and do it this way. I don't know who from England who would vote for that though, to be honest, because you'd get teams who have been in it the last few years. Yeah, it'd benefit Liverpool because they've been in it the last 2 or 3 years. You'd get Manchester City because they've been in it that period of time. But then even if you do maybe Chelsea or Arsenal, then teams like Spurs miss out. United maybe. I just don't see it. There's too many big clubs in England with money that will veto this, in my opinion. Places like France, it's not really going to matter that much. But what you're doing also in those leagues is you're essentially stopping teams from building and progressing. You're stopping teams from getting better. And what happens if it's a nonsense to me, and it can't happen, quite simply. Coming from me. And finally, Ligue 1 in France and their second division have been cancelled. Today, the French government saying there'll be no football in France until at least September the 1st. Italy are saying also today that they're going to have to rethink. There was talks they will go back on the 2nd of June. Germany, who had proposals in place to go back on May the 9th, that apparently there's been a spike of new COVID cases, so that might be re-evaluated now. And I suppose the thought is now France have become one of the top 5 leagues to actually cancel their season. Whether or not that will mean others follow suit, Spain, maybe Italy, maybe the Premier League, who knows? Or will the Premier League look at this as an opportunity to get more eyes on their product, there's less games, less competition. They can be the biggest ticker in town. We know that talks are underway for the Premier League to return on June the 8th. Clubs going back into training grounds. Going to be some interesting developments, most definitely, as we move forward with this. That is it for today. Make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and if you want more great videos, join us on Patreon. See you later.